Shaun Deller, and yeah, I make hats. It's my trials bike. It's not the greatest thing, but it's fun, and it works. About to go to the Goodwill, pick up some fabrics, go through my day, come home, make some hats, sell them to some bike shops. That's my gig. I don't own a car. Sold my car about 2 years after coming out here, and have been getting by since without it, just doing everything by bike. I got a big old basket and trailer to carry all my stuff. I think not having a car has been a big incentive for me to try to find nature within the city. And I'm trying to use all recycled fabrics with my business to use as little new material as possible. Started making cycling hats because I've always been a cyclist and thought it'd be cool to create hats that didn't have the logos on them like cycling hats do, and you know, from nicer fabrics, wools and cottons and things. Got some thrift store fabrics and started making some, and took them to a local bike shop to see if they would sell, and they did, so it took off, and it's been a business since. My reason for doing it is just not to use more new material and add to that wastefulness of, you know, the apparel industry. This is Louis, helps me cut fabric. I found an old cycling hat at the thrift store one time, and cut it up, made a pattern from the fabric, and it was an ugly hat, and I just wanted to make something that was a little more stylish from it. So I found some old wool, drew out the pattern on this wool, and cut the hat out, and made a new hat from it. Started wearing it around, and people are asking me where I got it and who made my hat and everything, and just gave me the idea that maybe they could sell. One thing that made it easy for starting my business up was using recycled fabric, because I didn't have a very high overhead. It was very cheap to get the material. I could get it nearby. It didn't have to be ordered and shipped here. You know, I didn't have to order large quantities. I could get a small amount for cheap and experiment with it and not worry about, you know, if I screwed up, it wasn't a big loss. I guess at a certain point, I started feeling like, is this, you know, do people really like this? Or does anybody really care that I'm making hats? And every now and then, people would come up to me and they'd say, hey, you know, you make some great hats, man. I like what you do. And every, you know, when that happens, it sort of gives you a little bit more fuel to the fire. It makes me feel like maybe this is valid, you know, maybe there's some worth in doing this.